Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are in the United States. We are closely approaching 50,000 subscribers, so please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, big correction as we've been talking about, being cautiously optimistic because we were due for a correction. I talked about, being around 18,000 or 19, we may see a correction, or we go to 20 and then we see a sharp correction. Well, it happened before we hit 20,000. And the other day, I shared some thoughts on Mike Novogratz talking about, hey, the support level we may be looking at is 14,500 if we were to see a pullback. So keep that in mind, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line, and these corrections are healthy. Believe it or not, I know the new people to the market are like, what? Are you crazy, man? Bitcoin just dropped like $3,000. What's wrong with you, right? But you haven't been here to understand how volatile the market is. But as I always state, the swings that take us very low also take us very high. And that's why there's high potential to make a significant return here. So Bitcoin down near 13%, currently sitting at $16,642. Ethereum back under $500, XRP under 50 cents, currently at 48 cents. So healthy correction. Literally in my video yesterday, guys, I talked about this, right? I showed the chart. I talked about these mini peaks and valleys on the way up to 20,000 back in 2017, right? Here and here, see these price support levels here. This was around 5,000. This was around 3,000. But look at the dips. See the dips here? People forget that. They just remember the peaks. They don't remember the valleys, right? The run-ups and the mini speculative bubbles on the way up with corrections. But that's why you need to understand market cycles, both from a micro and macro level. Now, I'm a big believer in the macro level chart here, where you have obviously your bull, bear, and accumulation phases. And obviously, we were near 20,000 back in 2017. We had our bear market, and now we are working our way back up. We are in a bull market. And I stated that this little peak here, and I call it little in the grand scheme of things because we're headed to $100,000 according to the stock to flow model, right? So this peak here could be on the same level as this one here, the $5,000 peak, relative, of course, right? Given that, okay, if we're going to keep going higher and go to 100,000 or, maybe around 80,000. So keep that in mind, guys. Here you had a peak and a correction. Now we're at a peak, another correction. That doesn't mean we're not going to keep going up. I hope you understand that. I'm looking macro level and we are in a bull market. So certainly a correction was due. No surprise here, healthy. And study the charts. You will see corrections in many, many phases, both in the bull and bear market. So keep that in mind. Now, what was the catalyst to drive the price down? Well, we got some negative news here, or supposed negative news that may be coming from the Trump administration. And this came from Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong, saying Trump administration may rush out burdensome crypto wallet rules. This is interesting. So Brian Armstrong is worried the Trump administration is about to send the cryptocurrency industry a parting gift. This is, of course, not a political video. I'm just stating the facts. So I know people are very political and they're like, oh, well, you don't say this and don't say that. It's like, hey, this is just the facts of what we have today, right? So now if they do put something here that's against crypto or really hinders the market, I think Joe Biden may come in and undo it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But let me give you the details. The Coinbase CEO took to Twitter Wednesday night to blast the U.S. Treasury Department's rumored plans to attempt to track owners of self-hosted cryptocurrency wallet with an onerous set of data collection requirements. If whispers are to be believed, outgoing Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is preparing to tamp down on one of the fundamental tenets of the cryptocurrency ethos, the ability of the individual to hold their crypto themselves. This proposed regulation would, we think, require financial institutions like Coinbase to verify the recipient/owner of the self-hosted wallet, collecting identifying information on that party before a withdrawal could be sent to that self-hosted wallet, Armstrong tweeted. If true, the regulation would represent a broadside against the U.S. cryptocurrency industry like few ever levied by the federal government. it would force corporations to know every counterparty to their users' crypto transactions, keep logs, tracking movements, and verify identities before a transfer could take place. So very, very interesting, guys. And we'll have to see if this happens. Right now, it's just a rumor. I don't know if it's going to happen. Even if it does, we don't know if Joe Biden as a president or whatever is going to continue this, because he's going to bring in Gary Gensler, who is a pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin guy. So we'll have to see how things play out. Now, in the grand scheme of things, this does not necessarily hinder the market. What it does hinder, and I'm not against it, I'm actually for it, is the full decentralization of many of these cryptos, right? Because there's a lot of things with DeFi and so forth that are going to get impacted, I think, here. So that's where I stand. Now, I don't want to see that happen, but all the things we've talked about over the years, that they're going to position this crypto market the same way the stock market is. So if they're going to regulate it and it's going to get that big, which I think it is going to, they're going to put the regulations in, unfortunately. So it's one of the things of the hardcore people who are behind crypto. They're like, well, no, down with the banks, down with this, and this can't have. Unfortunately, if you want higher prices, right? It depends what your motivations are. This is going to happen. I don't necessarily see a way out of it. And once again, I'm not saying I want it that way. I'm just saying being real, right? And Raoul Pal, macro investor, weighed in on it. He said, here, oops, it looks like I clicked out of it. If you think that secrecy from governments and no KYC, which is know your customer, is Bitcoin's future, then you don't understand what adoption looks like. They will regulate it. You will declare it. You will have to do KYC, and that is fine. It doesn't take away its store of value, but just integrates it. Once again, I'm not saying that I want to give the government all of my information. I don't. But the point is, if we are here, and many of us are here to make money, some of us are hardcore crypto enthusiasts who want it certain way, but you can't have both. Unfortunately, you can't have both, right? As the saying goes, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So you're going to have to do KYC, and there's going to be AML and all these things in place. And unfortunately, it might hinder like DeFi a bit, right? But that doesn't mean it's going to hinder the entire market, because they're going to position it, as I've been saying for years and years and years, the same way the stock market is, especially when you're going to have tokenized securities, tokenized commodities, tokenized real estate, tokenized stocks, right? All those things are going to be under the umbrella of the crypto market. So this is where we're at. Let's even see if this thing gets moved forward, right? At this point, it's a rumor. And like I said, even if it does, Joe Biden or whoever else is coming in could undo it. So we'll have to wait and see. But this was one of the things people are saying is a catalyst that maybe drove some fear, and people started selling off a bit, right? So we'll, like I said, we'll really have to wait and see. Next up, guys, Peter Schiff. My goodness, this guy, I've said it before, he is a clown. Look, I respected him before, based on what he's done with gold and so forth, but now he's just trolling, and that's why I call him a clown, because he's trolling for attention, and he's spreading like false information. So here he talked about Grayscale, which is seeing a significant amount of money being invested in their Bitcoin trust and other cryptocurrency trusts, right? Right now they have $12.2 billion under asset. So of course our friend Peter Schiff, is jealous because the money's flowing out of gold into Bitcoin. He said, due to Grayscale's massive CNBC ad buy, as well as nonstop positive Bitcoin coverage by CNBC, with pie in the sky price forecasts, greedy speculators jumped in. This caused GBTC to buy lots of Bitcoin. If these speculators sell GBTC tomorrow, Grayscale must dump those Bitcoins. That is false. And Barry Silbert, the founder of Grayscale, responded. Here's what he said. False. That is not how the trusts work. Do better research. And thanks for continuing to promote the Grayscale funds. Oh man, Peter Schiff is such a clown. Now, he did tweet he admitted his mistake and blah, blah, blah. But he's just a troll and a hater. But I think Max Kaiser put it perfectly. He's going to be forced to buy Bitcoin either at $50,000 or $100,000. He's going to capitulate just like the others, like Jamie Dimon and all the other naysayers, right? Because this is the new asset class. It's on the rise. It doesn't care how you feel. Technology and innovation moves forward, you either get on board or you get disrupted and become irrelevant. Ask the folks at Blockbuster and all the others that got disrupted because they did not adapt to this moving and changing technology. Right, guys? So, guys, like I said, healthy correction. Those of you who are new to the market, this is not the last time this is going to happen. It's going to happen again. I guarantee it. I will put money on it. As I've seen it so many times since I've been here in 2016. Just, it's going to correct. And I remember the same FUD, people crying, people tweeting, hey, you could say the price was going to this, and it corrected. People only want to hear what they hear. In the video, I will say be cautiously optimistic and a correction's coming. But also in the video, I would say, hey, maybe the next high may be a 20,000, 25,000 Bitcoin XRP $1. But people will completely forget that I said, hey, a correction may happen before that, right? They just want to hold on to the price. And it's like, no, you need to understand market cycles. So another dump is going to happen on the way up. Let's say Bitcoin goes to 28,000, another dump. 20%, right? But par for the course. Keep that in mind, guys. Go back and look at the chart. Zoom out, macro level. So I hope you guys get it. Guys, what do you think? You think we could keep going down, right? You know, Mike Novogratz, like I said the other day, said the support level for Bitcoin was 14,500. So we could possibly keep going down, or we can bump back up. Here's why. Today is Thanksgiving. There could be discussions around Bitcoin at the Thanksgiving table, kind of like what happened in 2017, and people go out and buy. And also, we know, guys, a lot of the institutional players like your Michael Saylor, your Paul Tudor Joneses, your George Ball, Stanley Druckenmiller, those folks are not weak hands. They come in, they buy, and they're holding long term. So that's what makes this rally a more sustainable versus what we've seen historically. And, you know, Bitcoin's only 10 years old. The market's very young, so you're going to see a lot of volatility. But as Michael Saylor said on CNBC yesterday, you're going to see more stability moving forward. So things are going to progress, and the market's going to become more healthier. It's going to be less of this dumps and ups and downs. But within the next few years, you're still going to see, you know, the corrections. So keep that in mind, guys. So leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button and share this video if you found it helpful. I'll talk to you guys later.